Hey everyone! Welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be super useful. We're going to learn how to fetch, filter and paginate employee data using NamedParameterJdbcTemplate in Spring Boot. This is something every real-world API needs, and I'll show you how to do it step by step, nice and easy. So let's jump right in. Alright, see on my screen. Our getEmployees method is returning a list of employees, and it already supports pagination and filtering based on employee name and department, if those parameters are provided. Now earlier, we were calling the employee Jdbc repository to fetch this data using the regular Jdbc template. But in this video, we're going to switch that to use NamedParameterJdbcTemplate instead, which will make our code more readable and easier to manage, especially when we have optional filters like these. Alright, now open up the employee Jdbc repository class. See this method here, fetch employees? In this method, we're doing a couple of interesting things. We're building a dynamic SQL query depending on whether employee name or department is passed. We're maintaining a list of parameters for those filters. And when it's time to run the query, we're converting that list into an array of objects to pass into the Jdbc template. Also notice, we're actually running two separate queries here. One for fetching the total count of matching records, used for pagination. And the second to fetch the list of actual employees based on the filters and pagination info. Let's copy this entire fetchEmployees method from our employee Jdbc repository. Paste it inside our new class, employee named Jdbc repository. We'll modify it with minimum changes to make it work with NamedParameterJdbcTemplate. No need to rewrite everything from scratch. Alright. So first step. Let's remove this old params list. We don't need it anymore. Because now, we're going to use map-SQL parameter source, which is a more elegant and readable way to pass parameters in NamedParameterJdbcTemplate. It lets us add key-value pairs, where the key is the named parameter in our SQL, and the value is the actual data we want to pass. Okay, let's talk about the query part now. See this, earlier when we used JdbcTemplate, we wrote conditions like this. But now, since we're using NamedParameterJdbcTemplate, we're going to replace that with a named parameter. So let's update it. Change that question mark to :employee name. Now comes the important part. We need to tell Spring what value to use for this :employee name. For that, we'll use our map-SQL parameter source that we already created. Let's add our first named parameter to the map-SQL parameter source object, and that's employee name. What this does, it tells Spring, whenever you see :employee name in the SQL query, plug in the actual value we're passing here. Now let's do the same thing for the department parameter. Replace the question mark used for department with a named parameter, just like we did for employee name. Next, add the corresponding value to our map-SQL parameter source. Now look at the screen. We're appending our filter conditions dynamically in both count query and data query. And guess what? We don't need to change anything here. Alright everyone. Now it's time to execute our count query using our NamedParameterJdbcTemplate. We're replacing our old Jdbc call with this NamedParameterJdbcTemplate. Remove all those old parameters. First, pass our count query string. Next, pass our map-SQL parameter source object that contains all our parameters. Finally, pass long class as the expected return type, since we want the total count as a long. Alright everyone, now take a look at our query on the screen. Previously, for limit and offset we used question marks. But now, since we're using named parameters, we're going to replace those with :limit and :offset. Next, we need to add these new parameters to our MapSQL parameter source object so that Spring knows what values to bind for :limit and :offset. Now take a look at our screen. We were previously executing this query using JdbcTemplate. Now, we're switching over to NamedParameterJdbcTemplate. Next, remove all the old parameters from the method call. Next, pass our query string first. Next, pass the MapSQL parameter source object that holds all our named parameters. Finally, we need to pass a row mapper to convert the results set into our employee objects, so we'll use our custom employee row map. Okay. Done. Our fetch employee code is now complete. Let's start the application. Open dbeaver to check our employee data. Run a select query. And look at that, we now have 30 records in our table. Let's switch over to Postman. I'm going to hit our API without any filters, just a plain request for the first page. Check this out, our API returned 4 records because we set our page size to 4 in the config. And notice, the total pages is 8. That's correct, because with 30 records and a page size of 4, the data fits into 8 pages. Now let's hit the API with a department filter. I'm filtering using the developer department. Check this out. This time our API returned 4 records and the total pages are showing as 3. Now let's verify that in our database. Run a select query with developer filter. And see, there are 9 records in the developer department, which perfectly fits into 3 pages with a page size of 4. Alright. Now let's try hitting the API with both filters, employee name and department. I'm using vcos-meta as the name and developer as the department. And see, we got exactly 1 employee in the response. Perfectly filtered, just the way we wanted. And that makes total sense, because in my database, there's only 1 record for this combination of vcos-meta and developer. Alright, let's hit the API with only the employee name filter, using vcos-meta. And look at that. We got 2 employees in the response, 1 from the developer team and 1 from QA. Exactly as expected. Alright, so in this video, we learned how to fetch, filter and paginate employee data using NamedParameterJdbcTemplate, and as you saw, everything worked perfectly. In the next video, we'll move on to updating employee records using the same NamedParameterJdbcTemplate approach, super useful for real-world APIs. So don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks a lot for watching.